Hello. Welcome to Bot 369 Poker University. In this video, we will explain the rules and etiquette in poker. By the end of this video, you'll have a greater understanding of the game's rules and what's expected of you at the table. If you're new to poker, we recommend starting with our video Master the Basics of Poker video, as this guide assumes you already know the basics. If you're playing online or at a casino, you don't have to worry about dealing. However, if you're playing privately with friends, it's customary for the player with the dealer button to deal the hand. Take the deck of cards, shuffle them face down, any good shuffling is okay, and then cut the deck in two. Move the lower half to the top, known as cutting the cards, which adds a security measure to prevent manipulation while shuffling. Next, deal to the player to the immediate left of the button, known as the small blind, and continue dealing in a clockwise direction, ending with yourself. Keep dealing until each player has received 2 cards face down. After dealing the cards, we have the pre-flop betting round. It's important to note that in a tournament, a player must be at their seat when the last card is dealt to participate in the hand. Whole cards are dealt to every position regardless, but if a player hasn't taken their seat before the last card is dealt, the hand is automatically folded. In a cash game, a player won't receive any cards if they're not at the table. Once the pre-flop betting round is complete, it's time to deal the flop. Discard the card on the top of the deck, known as the burn card, and then deal the next 3 cards face up in the middle of the table. The burn card ensures that players don't know what's coming next, preventing any manipulation of the game. When dealing the turn and river, also burn a card before dealing 1 card face up to the right of the flop. This maintains the integrity of the game. Now, let's talk about how to handle your hole cards. It's important not to show them to anyone else while the hand is in progress. Shield them when you look at them to prevent players on either side or behind you from seeing. Players usually peel the corners of their cards up with one hand while shielding them with the other. You can look at your hand at any time, but you should do so discreetly. While playing your hand, it's good practice to protect your hole cards from being accidentally mucked by the dealer. Keep them close to you and either rest your hand on the cards or place a single chip on top of them. If your hole cards are too far forward, the dealer may mistakenly think you folded and sweep your cards into the muck. Remember, it's considered your mistake, and it's unlikely you'll get your hole cards back. When protecting your cards, avoid hiding them from view. For example, don't place your chips in front of them, as it may confuse other players and the dealer about whether you're still in the hand. This could be viewed as an underhanded tactic, known as angle shooting. If you decide to fold, you can't just show your hole cards to one player. Casinos generally employ a show one, show all policy in the interest of fairness for all players. Additionally, after folding, avoid announcing your cards to anyone while the hand is still in progress. Even if you fold a hand that could have been strong, it's important not to influence other players. Now, let's discuss when you will be showing your hole cards. After the final betting round, the player whose bet has been called, the aggressor, is expected to show first in a live game. The second player doesn't have to show if they can't beat their opponent's hand. If there was no bet on the river, the player to the left of the dealer shows first, followed by others in clockwise order. However, if you have an unbeatable hand, the nuts or near nuts, you should immediately show both cards. Slow rolling, where you delay showing your unbeatable hand, is considered poor etiquette. In situations where a player has gone all in earlier in the hand and another player has called, both players turn their hole cards face up before any remaining community cards are dealt. If you're involved in an all-in situation, wait for the dealer to confirm that the action has closed and there are no more bets before revealing your cards. Prematurely revealing your cards could result in gaining calls from dominating hands or losing calls from hands that you dominated. Moving on to chips, it's important to keep your stack of chips in front of you at all times. Shuffling or riffling chips is allowed, but they must remain on the table and visible to all players, as others may need to make decisions based on the chip count. Ensure that your higher value chips are visible. Hiding higher value chips intentionally could be seen as an attempt to trick other players and may result in penalties. Keep your chips in countable stacks, ideally in level stacks of 20, with the highest value chips at the front. In tournaments, as the blinds increase, low value chips are removed from play, and higher value chips are introduced. This process is called coloring up. If there are odd chips at the table, a chip race is conducted between those players. Each player involved receives a single card, and the player with the highest card earns the corresponding value in chips. When it comes to betting with your chips, be aware of string betting and avoid it. String betting is making a single bet in multiple actions. To place a bet, do it in a single motion or verbally announce your bet, which becomes binding. If you're raising with a single chip, it's crucial to announce your bet. In a casino, throwing a single chip into the middle without saying anything is considered a call. Ensure clear communication to avoid confusion. Now, let's cover some general etiquette at the poker table. Always be respectful to your fellow players and the dealer. Disrespectful behavior may result in warnings or even a ban from the casino. When playing in a multi-way pot with 3 or more players, avoid saying anything that could influence the actions of other players. However, when only 2 players are in the hand, they are free to engage in conversation. Acting out of turn is considered unsporting and disrespectful, so wait for your turn. Using a phone during a hand is forbidden in a casino, and taking a phone call at the table is also not allowed, whether you're involved in a hand or not. You have a reasonable amount of time to make decisions during a hand. However, keep in mind that in tournaments, blind levels increase at regular intervals, so taking too much time to decide may agitate other players. They may call the clock, asking the tournament director to impose a time limit on your decision. Some tournaments even use a shot clock, which provides a fixed amount of time for each action on each betting street. The most important takeaway from all of this is to be respectful and attentive. Now you have a solid understanding of the general rules and etiquette of playing poker. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more poker content. Thanks for watching.